Good morning, everybody. Myself, Acharya Vishvendra, and today I'm going to discuss a worksheet on prism. So let's discuss the worksheet. So here is the worksheet on prism. This is the prism light is incident at an angle I. It gets refracted at R1 and then finally R2, and prism angle is A, and it emerges through E. So the first question is sum of R1 plus R2 is equals to A, which is angle of prism. Next is we need to find R1. So applying Snell's law on this interface, we have 1 into sin I is equals to mu into sine of R1, which gives sine of R1 is equals to sin I by mu. And from here we can say that R1 is sine inverse of sin I by mu. So in this way we can calculate R1. Now is R2. So R2 can be written as A minus R1 or A minus sine inverse of sin I by mu. Next is deviation in the light ray. So deviation is I plus E minus A. Next is variation of angle of deviation with I. So it's a curve like this. Next is condition for minimum deviation. So for minimum deviation, I is equals to E and R1 is equal to R2 is equal to A by 2. Next is we are being given a graph of deviation versus angle of incidence, and we need to find angle A. So for that we know that deviation is I plus E minus A. So at this point deviation is 70. I and E are 40 and 60. So A comes out to be 30 from this graph. Next is deviation minimum. So minimum deviation will be twice angle corresponding to minimum deviation minus A. Here angle corresponding to minimum deviation is 45. So minimum deviation is 60 degree. Next is we need to find mu. So using Snell's law on the first interface, we can say 1 into sine 45 is equal to mu into sine 15, because angle of refraction will be A by 2. So from here mu comes out to be sine 45 by sine 15, and after solving mu comes out to be 2 by root 3 minus 1. Next is we are being given a prism and light is incident on the prism, and here is a plane mirror. And the first step is we need to find angle of deviation. So deviation angle is mu minus 1 into A. Mu here is 3 minus 1, 2 into 4, which is 8 degree. So deviation is equal to 8 degree. Next is we need to find x. So from the geometry we can say that deviation is equal to x, which is equal to 8 degree. Next is we need to find angle del dash. So from here we can see that del dash plus x is 180. So del dash is 180 minus 8, which is 172 degree. Next is we are being given the prism. This angle is 60, R1, R2, and again this angle is 60. Mu is given to be root 3 by 2. Then the first question is we need to find R1. So R1 can be calculated as 1 into sine 60 is equal to root 3 by 2 into sine R1. So from here sine 60 is root 3 by 2, which is equal to root 3 by root 2 into sine of R1. So from here sine R1 comes out to be 1 by root 2, and R1 is equal to 45 degree. Next question is we need to find R2. So R1 plus R2 is 60. That means 45 plus R2 is 60. So R2 is equal to 15 degree. Next is deviation is I plus E minus A. So deviation is equals to E over here, where E is the angle of emergence or this angle. Now analyzing this situation and applying Snell's law on this interface, we have 1 into sine E is equals to mu into sine R2, and from after solving it we get E is equals to sine inverse of root 3 by 4 into root 3 minus 1. So that will be the final answer. So you have seen there that these are optimal physics worksheets which are developed with the vision that you should check your studies. Suppose you study the topic prism, so it's just a basic testing mechanism to analyze your testing, and is your working, is your study aligned with the line of action of JEE and NEET or any other competitive exam. Generally what happens is that when we study, there is no study patterns involved, there is no strategy involved. Students generally just sit and start studying. That is a very basic concept. It's not going to work for cracking the competitive exams, because any competitive exam like JEE and NEET, they are based on psychologically designed neural patterns. And out of all the things that you studied, you need to decode the right neural pattern and implement that in your exams. Then you can think of cracking the competitive exams. Because if you are not capable to develop the neural patterns to fetch the patterns from that that information source which you are using, then you'll be unable to use that and crack the competitive exams. So these worksheets are just an optimization tool to check your basic understanding. And once you have completed the first level worksheet, we'll upload the next higher level worksheets up to what you can test yourself, so that you can have a scientific analysis of your correct working pattern. Thank you and have a nice day.